This tutorial will show you how to complete the timeline assignments for our History of New Mexico course. To begin, you can either use the Learning module to get to the timeline section, or you can just scroll down under Course Content to the Timeline tab. That's what I'm going to do this time. Here in the Timeline tab, you'll have a link to our course timeline. If you ever need to go back to it, there will be a link to this video tutorial that I'm making right here. What I'm going to click on first this time is the Timeline Assignment Instructions. We'll open this document here, and this will explain to you how to complete everything. And I'm just going to show you kind of the technical way of doing it. You need to read through this to see the standards for what the content needs to be. So you click here to access the course timeline. Once you do, you'll see other posts. You'll see this little intro to the course timeline. Click continue. Then you can go log in. Our username, as mentioned in the timeline assignment instructions, is New Mexico History, no spaces. Our password is HIST2260 with a capital H. And again, that information is here in the timeline assignment instructions. Once you log in, you have to scroll down just a little bit to this My Timelines History of New Mexico. Click on History of New Mexico, and you're in. So you'll see everything that you just saw, but once again. To post to the timeline, you go to the admin box, you click the little arrow to get it to drop down, and you click Create New Story. And you'll see the new story pops up right here. I already have a story here, so I'm going to actually click Cancel here and use my story, click Edit, to show you how to do this. It's the same thing whether you click Create New Story or you're working on an existing one. The first thing you want to do for the timeline assignment is identify your topic, your person, place, or event. So this requires a little thinking ahead. You might want to even just skim through the chapters, what we're doing for the unit, before you've started, just to pick something that would be interesting to you. You go here and you enter a title for it in the title box. You enter the start date. For mine, I have a date range, so I've chosen 12,000 BC. So I type in 12,000, I click BC. If it's AD, you'd click AD, click BC. And then you actually have to click a point on the calendar. You have to pick a date. If it's someone's birth date, it makes sense that there's a specific day for it. If it's this kind of event where there's a range we're not so sure about, you can be a little bit arbitrary in choosing the date. But the point is you have to actually click on the calendar before you click confirm down here to make it work. So once you've done that, you'll notice it's changed here in the start date line. You do the same thing for the end date. Then you want to put your name in this intro box. So type by your name. And then you can click save, and you can leave this for a little while. Then you want to go and you want to do the actual legwork for this assignment. You'll want to write all of it in a Word document as you go. Once you've created the placeholder for your topic, you don't have to worry about someone else taking your topic while you're doing the research for it. The point here is that we can't have duplicate entries on the course timeline. So make sure you do the placeholder very first before you do all of the work for it. Then when you go back to the course timeline, you won't have to worry that, oh no, someone else has already done this. So I've just wasted all of my time. Here you want to write everything that you'll need to enter in the timeline. So I have my name, I have the title, I have the time frame. I have a URL for the outside source that I've located. I have a URL for a video. It can either be a video or an image depending on what you've chosen. Sometimes there's one or the other. And then I've written my description for the ID step of the timeline assignment. Notice there are always two steps. There's an ID step and a connection step. And those are explained in the instructions, what you need to write. Once you've done all of that and you've saved your document, you go back to the course timeline, and here at the bottom of basic info, where you've done all of your work so far, there's this box for a link. So you copy and paste the link to your outside source that you found there in that section. Click Save. To add your video or image, you click Add New Media, or if you already have one in there, click Edit. The box that pops up is exactly the same. So you put the URL for your video or image in this source box, copy it there. You choose whether you have a video or an image. I have a video, so I'm going to click that, and then I click Save. To put all of your text in, you click Extra Info. You go back to your document and you copy and paste all of your text. And I've already pasted it in here. So that is it. That's done. Once you complete your worksheet for the connection step, and that's explained in the instructions, how you need to do the connection, you'll create a document just like this one, except it will be for the Part 2 connection. You'll choose the point of, or the event or person or place that you want to connect to, and you'll write your description. Once you've done that and saved it, then you go back to your original entry, your original post. You don't need to worry about ever going into anyone else's. Just go to yours, go to Extra Info, scroll down to the bottom, click in the text box, enter a couple of times, write connection, and then write, or copy, I should say, copy your text here. So I haven't made a connection. For mine, for example, I could connect to the Paleo Indians. They came across the Bering Strait land bridge at various points in time, migrated from points in Asia to the Americas. That was how at least one significant group of people arrived in North and South America thousands of years ago. Those people were the Paleo Indians. They were some of the first to settle not only the region around New Mexico, but many other places in North and South America. So I would write that as my connection. I would then make that connection between the two in specific terms to explain the historical significance of the Bering Strait land bridge. It's important because it was that pathway for the first inhabitants of the Americas. I click Save here, and I'm done. That's it for the course timeline. So to see all my work, I find my entry, I click More. There it is. So if you've chosen your video or image, it'll be here. You can play it. You scroll down to read everything you've written. You have your connection there as well once you do the second step. To see your outside source, this button, Find Out More, that's where the outside source will be. I think that's everything for this. The only other thing you'll need to make sure you do, besides posting to the course timeline, you always have to post your worksheets to Blackboard as well. So here in the Timeline tab, scroll down, you'll click on the unit you're working on, Timeline Submissions, and you will attach your Timeline's ID step. So that was the first part I did with the URLs included. You'll scroll down, Browse Computer, and Attach. When you need to do the connection step, you'll click on that same Upload Assignment, you'll click the same Timeline Submissions section, but you'll go here to the Table of Contents and click Timeline Connection Step. You have to click OK if you get a pop-up like that. And then here's where you attach that other document for your connection. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know what questions you have, and I look forward to building a timeline of New Mexico history with all of you over the next couple of weeks.